nomination and a second for vice chairman.
I nominate
All
Mike
right,
Potter
we have a quorum.
for
First
vice
item
chairman.
on the agenda is election of the
Second.
officers for 2023. I need a nomination and a second for chairman.
We have an echo.
We're good? All right. Roll call?
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Potter?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Grounds?
Aye.
Ms. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Tuttle?
Aye.
Mr. Seifert?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right. Congratulations, Mr. Potter.
There you go.
Next item is acceptance of the agenda. Staff has recommended that we take Creekstone Academy items 1 and 2 together, so we'll take that presentation together and take any comments under the public hearing portion of that discussion, and then we'll vote on those back to back. Any other addition or corrections to the agenda? All right. Move forward with that approach to items 1 and 2 in the remaining agenda as is. Next item is minutes approval from the December 15th, 2022 meeting. Any additions or corrections?
Move to approve the minutes. Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Potter?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Grounds?
Aye.
Ms. Johnson?
Abstain.
Mr. Caudle?
Aye.
Mr. Seifert?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Next item is public comments, so this is for any item that is not on the agenda tonight or items not on the public hearing, which would include the Oakland Springs sign guidelines. We'll have folks come forward, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Anybody here for public comments for any other item that's not on the agenda tonight? Seeing that there are none, we'll move forward with the first item under public hearing, Creekstone Academy, and we're gonna take both the certified plat for 2 commercial lots on 6.61 acres, and we're gonna hear about the site plan for child daycare facility on 3.29 acres, both associated with Creekwood Academy. Is the applicant here and wish to make any comments? No? All right, staff?
The first of the 2 items is a certified plat. And this property is just a little bit south of what I still call Springs of Madison, because that was the original name of the apartments, but whatever they're called now. And it's a little bit east of County Line Road. These 2 lots already exist in the files of the Madison County Tax Assessor, but they did not go through the platting process. And so when we did the site plan and we were looking at the property and I was going back and doing the research, I realized they didn't properly subdivide the lots. So they have come back with this along with the site plan, and this will make both properties compliant with our subdivision regulations. So they're dividing it, this one property into 2 properties. The east lot is owned by Southbridge Holdings, which is the company that's doing the assisted living facility. The west lot is owned by Mary Margaret Lanier. And both of the lots are compliant. The site plan that you will get in just a second, it will be on the eastern lot. And we would, both are zoned B3. And another thing we get with our plat is the proper easements and everything that we need to work with the site plan to convey water and utilities and things like that. If it just goes to the county and we don't get the plat, we don't get those as easy. So we recommend approval, and our only contingencies is signatures on the plat. So I'll go right on to the next one. And as you can see, this is just the western lot or the eastern lot that we were just looking at. And they are proposing a 15,333 square foot child care center. It'll be accommodated with 32 spaces. I believe they're going to have 10 classrooms in the building, and we recommend approval on this as well. With a north arrow on the lighting plan, they need to submit their ADM permit and their recorded plat, which would be the plat that you're going to act on in a minute. Once they get that recorded, once we get proof of that, that will satisfy that comment. And that's it. That's the only contingencies we have on the site plan. So we recommend approval with both of those contingencies.
All right, thank you, John. At this point, we'll open up for public comments. Seeing if there are none, we'll move forward with comments from the commission.
I just have one question. 'Cause I'd been looking, I went back and looked at the parking regulations, that we had approved recently just to see. So I'm glad to know they just have 10 classrooms, because it didn't seem like a lot of parking spaces. I noticed on the site plan it says 41 parking stalls, but then here it says 32. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, and both are sufficient, but I just wondered if you knew which one is.
We're counting up here too.
We got 41.
So here in the staff report, it says 32, which is fine considering that it's 10 classrooms. It just caught my eye because I was looking at the layout as we were talking, that it said 41 on the
We counted
site
41
plan.
here.
So- Sorry?
We got 41 up here, Mr. Potter counted.
Okay.
Count the handicaps.
Did you have a note on there? Did you have it noted? A lot of times it's just in a calculation, or it could have been just, that was what was required.
I believe the number of parking spots required is 21,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like we provided about 30.
Good.
I think that 41 must have been, originally, we had a bigger parking lot.
41.
And we had to reduce that a little bit, that number must have not been up.
They're saying they're counting 41, but
Right, there's 41 on the site plan.
Right, so if it should be 32, like, I just wanted to know about the discrepancy.
I'm sorry, it is 41.
41, okay.
Right.
So that's what we're approving. Okay.
I'm impressed I can count.
We are too. You're running out of
That's
fingers.
good.
I'll move to approve the certified plat for Creekside Academy with contingencies.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Potter?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Grounds?
Aye.
Ms. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Caudle?
Aye.
Mr. Seifert?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, then I need a motion for the site plan.
Move to approve the site plan with contingencies.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Potter?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Grounds?
Aye.
Ms. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Caudle?
Aye.
Mr. Seifert?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next item, let's see, at this point, the public hearing is now closed. Next item is, Village at Oakland Springs sign guidelines. The applicant here in which to address the commission. All right, Johnny?
This guideline, plan, or it's kind of a master plan, is, authorized by Section 412.14 in the, regulations for a traditional neighborhood, development. And, they are, the sign plan, if you read it, is, basically, to regulate the wall signs and projecting blades and corner signs and monument signs, window signs, community identification signs that will be throughout this development. Most of these signs are located in those transects where you see the commercial properties near Huntsville-Browns Ferry Road. And you're having some of those like Agento and some of those other uses that are starting to get to where they're finishing up and they're going to want to be able to have their signage. We reviewed this, staff did, and we recommended a few changes, and you had those in your staff report. There were several, and we, presented those to the applicant, and, we were in the agreement, they were in the agreement with us, concerning the changes, except for two. And I'll go over those. Contingency item 3, temporary signs. The applicant is requesting that temporary real estate signs and sales signs be exempt. The way it reads in the, T&D section, that our sign code in Article 7 in the zoning code does not apply to T&D districts. So what we would like is for the temporary sign code in Article 7 to be added by reference to their master plan or their guideline plan, so that it would become effective, so that we can regulate the real estate signs and the different signs that you would have as far as temporary signs that might come into the development. The reasons, there were 3 stated in the staff report. 1, the city does not allow these type signs in the right-of-way. In most cases, no permit is required anyway, for a sign 12 square feet or less. And, staff does not see a compelling reason why we shouldn't have some regulatory power over the temporary signs. If there's any kind of sign that our code enforcement has to get involved with, it's temporary signs, nine times out of 10. The second, contingency was 5, and the applicant, is it's not in here, but it's in your report. The applicant is requesting, if you look, blade signs, to be, allowed in the district. It's not listed, as one, that they can have, but it says, or blade signs, attached to the building or awning. And we do not, oppose this, type of sign. It's something that, was overlooked because it wasn't, for sure, or we wasn't thinking that it would be one that, would be popular in mixed-use developments, but it is. And so, we do not, we do not have, any opposition to that change in the code. And, with those 2, contingencies addressed, we recommend approval with those exceptions.
All right, comments from the commission?
Johnny's staff's position is item number 3, you want included, the way you stated it. And item 5, it's okay the way the developer stated it.
Yes, with it,
Okay,
including the blade.
okay, right, and Blake. Into the contingency, okay. And a blade sign is like the flag sign, the ones, what is a blade sign?
It's like a hanging sign.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
There was a question down there?
No,
He was just pointing to the blade sign.
Okay. Only thing that caught my attention was awnings, but I thought we had problems with awnings as far as being durable and weather and stuff, but I guess that's not of concern, they'll, that's their problem. Seems like whenever we get a bad windstorm, awnings seem to fall apart. Yep, probably quite often. All right. Question? Good? Any?
So with the blade sign, I know I'm looking at it back here, it's like, it's got a minimum height, and so they're gonna meet all that, right? The height, okay.
Move to approve the sign guidelines for the villages of Oakland Springs with contingencies.
second,
Do we need to add in the extra, or when you say with contingencies, do we need to add in, because like, in this item, number 5 is not the same as this thing here, so. If you want that, otherwise it's.
we'll just say as discussed.
Yeah. I'd like to motion. Oh, man, you're gonna make me read all that. I'd like to motion, as Potter said, as discussed. Essentially allow, side with the staff on, item number 3, and with the developer on item number 5, and then go with the contingencies as we stated. Or do you want me to read all this?
We got a GED.
I get it, exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm agreeing with what I wanna say. Can I just repeat after you?
Amen.
I will motion to what you just said.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Potter?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Grounds?
Aye.
Ms. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Caudle?
Aye.
Mr. Seifert?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, motion carries, and with that, I don't believe we have any new business, and we'll adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Before y'all go, just want to introduce Elisa Walden, our new administrative assistant in the planning department, and Kaylee Zimmerman, our new assistant planner in the planning department.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Thanks, everybody.